Okay, last topic. I know I've said a lot, so if you stayed with me from the beginning, again, thank you. But um, you know, 2022 has been the year for Pinocchio, if you've noticed. I mean, first, there's already this live action remake already available on Disney Plus. I saw the trailer. If there's anything that really impressed me, it's the animated puppet of Pinocchio. I really like how expressive his facial animations were. So I thought that was pretty cool. Well done. And I really like the casting of Tom Hanks as Geppetto. Although since its release early September, critics haven't exactly liked the movie too much. Mediocre reviews. Not exactly a surprise when you think of recent remakes being somewhat of a disappointment despite the box office success. So I was concerned that this would be a continuing trend with happening, but it is what it is. Second project is directed by Guillermo del Toro, um, on Netflix coming early December, actually, a Pinocchio movie. But this time, I really think this one's going to be more interesting, especially when you consider the budget being used as well, because the trailer showed Pinocchio more of like this wooden character, wooden boy, like, nothing similar to the cartoon from Disney in a way, but using stop motion animation, which I think that's really interesting. If you think of other films like Chicken Run and Wallace and Gromit, I think you know the direction it's going. So I think it's really nice to see that budget is being used by and the support by Netflix using stop motion animation to get the vision that Del Toro's going for. A third and final thing, this may be the more interesting one that I didn't think would happen, is like a video game in the Souls like genre. If you've heard of Dark Souls, you get the idea. It's gonna have this like Dark Souls gameplay, but like with Bloodborne aesthetic, and it's really meant to be a love letter to the From Software development team, especially since like this subgenre has been everywhere in recent years, not just with Steel Rising now and Themyscira. I think another game meant to be a bit easier, and also like 2 years ago, a similar game by an indie team called Mortal Shell. You know, they made this game called Mortal Shell that was pretty interesting as well. So it's like a subgenre that's really trending from this innovation Souls-like game. Just seeing the trailer, I thought it was pretty cool. Like, of course, the storytelling, it's expected to be vague. I thought it was unusual change. Like when you see Pinocchio costume design, even like he looks like really a real boy, you know. And some of the characters, like, yes, it is Pinocchio, but it's sort of inspired by it. At least that's what I got from the story trailer. Again, it's like really vague. It's good that there was gameplay as well, just roaming around in a town. Level design kind of remind me of a little bit of like what we've seen from Yarnum on Bloodborne. Meant to be gothic, creepy, horror elements. It's good that there's going to be like even like item pickups and different ways of using potions or upgrading material, upgrading swords, maybe even upgrading guns. I think maybe there are guns. I could be wrong. Different aesthetics, costumes, or even like different souls like currency. Like you get the idea of the gameplay, and it's expected to be difficult and no pause menu except if you're just going for your inventory and checking out, changing your set, your weapon set, and all that good stuff. Dodge roll, like I already mentioned earlier. So and also like strategic combat and lock on. So again, like when you think of Souls, like when you look at Dark Souls, you get where the gameplay is coming from. So it's going to be really similar in a lot of ways. There's going to be feeling of familiarity, like again, like I know I keep repeating the same word, familiar, similar, but I thought that's an interesting direction that they're going for, and like yes, it's coming next year, only for next gen consoles, but it's nice that there's like this love letter on the whole Souls like thing, because it's really working that developers that recognize that players just not just having fun, but they really want to be challenged. So I'm assuming that the punishment will be just as difficult as similar games. But I mean, only when next year, there's no release date. That's all I can say. There's no official release date. But it's gonna be like different enemies as well, like robots and maybe sorcery and so forth. But just I saw a gameplay trailer. I know I said that, but going around battling different enemies, trying to traverse in different ways, getting different items, finding secrets. So I'm hopeful that this will work out well. Um, and I think I saw like an character of like a elderly woman. So again, like just check it out from a TGS 2022 event. But again, like it's just very vague, but it may end up being very well. Um, I would be disappointed if the results were otherwise.